Hello all, welcome back to the BioRocks channel. Today we'll be learning about the structure of skeletal muscle. Okay, so today's our topic is going to be the structure of the skeletal muscle. So before I go into explaining you the structure, let me first give you the characteristics of a muscle. Okay, so what are the characteristics of a muscle? First thing is your muscle has to be excitable. Like what are the excitable cells which receive a stimuli, right? And they get activated, they get depolarized, polarized, like your neuron cells, right? They are receiving a stimuli, they get depolarized, there is shifting of ions, right? Shifting of ions from the membrane, right? They move from in to out, out to in. This is shifting of ions. So we call these as excitable cells. So even your muscle is also an excitable structure found in your body. And the second thing is they have to be contractile. Okay, they have to contract. They need to have a property of contraction, relaxation, or what we call as relaxing. So we call it as a contractile. Thirdly, we can see that these have to be extensible. Okay, what are extensible? Extensible means they have to be stretchable. Okay, next is they have to be elastic. What is elastic? For example, children, if this is your muscle boundary structure, if this has got stretched to this portion, it has to again resume back to its original place, right? So that resuming is being called as elastic. We're going to call this as elastic. So these are the four features of your muscle. The muscle is going to be excitable, it should be contractile, it has to be extensible, it has to be elastic in nature. Nextly, what are the functions of a muscle? This video is purely based for the NEET. This will even help in solving your questions of your board examinations also. I'll make such videos of every topic, and I'll be coming with the new fresh videos for making only about the checklist of your different lessons in the syllabi for the board examinations for the NEET. So children, please do share, like my channel, subscribe my channel. Okay, thank you all. So now coming on to the functions of this, the first function that we would like to see is your muscles are producing movement, right? They are going to produce movement because of the contraction. Okay, children, how is that possible? Tell me. Because see, if a muscle is going to contract, what happens? The connective tissue sheets will be pulled. Okay, the connective tissue sheets which are present on the muscle, in the muscle. Okay, connective sheets which have been present like your epimysium, perimysium. I'll teach you now all these. Okay, all these connective tissues will be pulled. If these are being pulled, what happens? The tendon gets pulled. The tendon gets pulled. Now, if the tendon is getting pulled, what happens? Ultimately, your bone is going to move. And if the bone moves and a muscle contracts, what is going to be resultant? You are going to get movement. Movement. Children, do you know the tendon? See, before I enter into the topic, let me take a bone structure for you. Okay, if this is going to be a bone structure, we are going to have some parts here. Let me introduce with the parts. Like the part here is being called as epiphysis. We will learn this in detail when I'll teach you the bone tissue. And next we have a region which is being called as metaphysis. Okay, And this long bone here is shaft, or we call this as diaphysis. Okay, children. So now you can see that the muscle which is present is attached. It is actually placed on your shaft like this. So let me color this for you. So this is your muscle, skeletal muscle, because this is present on the skeleton. That is your bone. This is a skeletal muscle. And this skeletal muscle is fixed to the bone through a tissue which is being called as tendon. So here is a tendon. So this part is being called as tendon. So tendon is going to join a muscle with a bone. Okay. Tendon is a tissue which is joining your muscle with the bone. How will you remember for the examination? It's like trademark, where tendon is associated with a muscle. This is a shortcut for you, children, what I'm giving you. How to remember, because many children get confused between the tendon and the ligaments. This is the way you need to remember. I hope you understood how there is a production of movement. I gave you the pathway. And children, remember, the secondly, what you're going to see is your muscle gives you a perfect posture. Okay, you understand what is posture, right? Next is, this is also going to stabilize your joints. Okay, stabilize the joints. Fourthly, we can see that your muscles contract to generate the heat. They are going to actually generate heat to keep your body warmer, especially during winters, right? So it is generating heat. These are the functions of a muscle. So we have seen the characteristics of the muscle. We have seen the functions of the muscle. Now what I'll do is I'm introducing you with the structure of skeletal muscle. Structure of skeletal muscle. Okay, children. So give me a moment for that. I'll explain you. So it's going to be the structure of the skeletal muscle. So now, basically what I'll do is I'll draw a section of the muscle here. So this is your muscle. Okay, children. As we have seen this muscle, so if we are going to cut a part of it, and if we watch it, we find all these structures. So what you can see here is there is a connective tissue which is actually wrapping out the muscle which is present here. This is the whole connective tissue which is wrapping up your muscle here. Now, whatever I'm covering is completely important for the NEET. So better you people watch the video whole, because this will enhance your knowledge. I wholly recommend this video to build your concept for the NEET rather than going through the NCERT. I bet you that this is going to help you the most. Okay, so this connective tissue which is wrapping your muscle bundle here, the complete muscle, okay, this is nothing but, this is called as epimysium. This epimysium is none other than connective tissue. Children, if I'm using C.T, this is nothing but a connective tissue. It's a connective tissue. And the connective tissue found here in the epimysium is none other than the dense, fibrous, irregular connective tissue. Okay, this is highly vascularized. It has a very good supply of capillaries and blood. Okay, what is vascularized? They have a very rich supply of capillaries which are bringing the blood. Next, children, this gives enough elasticity. It provides a perfect elasticity for the muscle. Okay, so that is a connective tissue covering your muscle. Next, inside this particular structure now, inside the muscle, what you can find is these structures. Okay, these structures like this. What are these called as? These are being called as fascicles. So these are fascicles. What is a fascicle? Fascicle is nothing but it is bundle of muscle fibers. It is a bundle of muscle fibers. See, I'll draw the muscle fibers for you now inside. So these are the muscle fibers. So bundle of muscle fibers will make one fascicle. Okay, children? So these are your muscle fibers. These are your muscle fibers. Now, so your fascicles are also covered. Okay, right? They're also covered by a membrane like this. This is also a connective tissue. So what will be this connective tissue? So this connective tissue here, which is covering up the fascicles, okay, this connective tissue is none other than, let me write it in black for you, this is being called as perimysium. Perimysium. Okay, children, this is also a connective tissue, but this is the dense, fibrous, irregular connective tissue. Okay, so this is your perimysium. This is also providing elasticity. This is also highly vascularized. Okay, so now what I'll do is we will take up one muscle fiber from inside. So this is your muscle fiber, right? This is your muscle fiber. I'm taking only one muscle fiber here such that I can enlarge that and show you children. So now if you're going to look at one muscle fiber, let me take this one. This is your one muscle fiber. Okay. If this is going to be the muscle fiber, this is your muscle fiber. So if you're going to look at the muscle fiber, the outer covering here is also a connective tissue again. Okay, this is also lined by a connective tissue. What is the name of this whole cell, children? Let me take another color to tell you. So this whole structure in the fascicle is being called as what? Muscle fiber. Muscle fiber. Right? We are going to call this as muscle fiber. And this also can be called as a muscle cell also. Okay. Now, as you can see that this particular structure, the muscle fiber, is going to have, or being called as muscle fiber or a muscle cell, are going to have a special structure which is being called as sarcoplasmic reticulum. But before that, what I'll do is I'll write down for you the connective tissue which is covering up here. Okay, this is a connective tissue, and this connective tissue which is covering up your muscle fiber is none other than endomysium. Endomysium. See children, what I'll do is I'll underline these all connective tissues now, because I told you when the muscle contracts, what happens children? See once, when the muscle contracts, what happens? The connective tissue should be pulled, right? What are all the connective tissue sheets? Tell me. Epimysium, perimysium, right? Endomysium, right? These are all the connective tissues what we are having. All the connective tissues. Okay. Now the muscle fiber is covered by a connective tissue called as endomysium. What is this made up of? This is none other than which type of connective tissue? This is dense fibrous irregular. This is dense fibrous irregular. But this is going to be actually the areolar connective tissue. This is your areolar connective tissue. And this areolar connective tissue has very less collagen very less collagen than the dense fibrous connective tissue. That is most important, striking difference. Connective tissue, it has a very less collagen, the areolar connective tissue. Now coming on to the areolar connective tissue is also highly vascularized, but it is not that elastic, okay? Highly vascularized. Shall I write here also such that it will be helpful for your revision? This is also highly vascularized. Who? Perimysium, right? And they are also elastic, right? Provides elasticity. Only you are seeing that endomysium does not have this characteristic feature. Now, in the muscle fiber cell, what you can see is you can see the presence of sarcoplasmic reticulum in these cells. Sarcoplasmic reticulum. What is the need for this is, this is going to be the factory for calcium. It's a factory of calcium. Sarcoplasmic reticulum, because you need calcium for the muscle contraction. So that is being derived from the sarcoplasmic reticulum here. Okay, children. Next, what we'll do is, here inside this particular structure, again, we find some small structures here in the muscle fiber. So let me take one of it. This is this one structure which is coming out of whom? Out of this particular muscle fiber. And this structure which is coming out are present inside the muscle fibers is going to be myofibril. This is myofibril. This is myofibril. Okay, children. I hope if this is getting clear for you. This is myofibril. And children, I'll write it here for you that the myofibril is actually having thousands of proteins. I bet you might have never seen in any of the educational videos about a clear study of the myofibril as I provide. So I want you to watch for the next video that I will release, that is going to give you a detailed structure of the myofibril purely based on the NEET. Okay, so we will learn about the myofibril later, where you will find your I band and the A band, all those structures, the myosin, the actin. I'm going to make your concept clear. So I ask you all to log into the BioRocks channel for such interesting videos. And as I told you that this is going to be a very detailed structure I'm going to give you of the myofibrils. If you get that particular video, understand it, your muscle contraction is going to be very, very clear, very, very clear. So I hope children, you have understood this. Now what I'll do is I'll color it up, the parts, right? The first one is going to be the epimysium, the outer connective tissue, right, children? Next is inside that we find some structures where there are bundles of structures called as myofibrils. Next, we have seen a structure which is being called as muscle fiber cell, right? This was a structure inside. Fifth, we have seen about some other structure inside the muscle fiber that is being called as myofibril. Clear, children? These are the ones. Now we have seen even the connective tissues also. So how will you learn this, children? I'll make it more further easy for you. So how will you learn? So you will learn this when you revise. How can you revise this topic? I'll make it very easy for you. What you can do is just remember that it is muscle, right? Muscle covered by epimysium, right? Now, muscle is going to contain fascicles. Fascicles is group of bundles of muscle fibers. And this is covered, fascicles is covered by whom? Perimysium. All these are the connective tissues. Fascicles have muscle fibers, right? What is the cover of the muscle fibers? Which connective tissue? Endomysium. What is muscle fibers made of? Myofibrils. What are myofibrils made of? Proteins like actin, myosin, meromycin. There are many proteins and many as such proteins are present, right? Now, what is this made up of? Dense, irregular connective tissue. This is also made up of dense, irregular connective tissue. This is made up of areolar connective tissue. Who gives elasticity? Let me write it with red color now. This gives elasticity. This gives elasticity. Is it okay for you? This is going to be the structure of your muscle. I hope I made this concept clear. This whole page is important for the NEET. Okay. And these are the ones required for your boards too, and for the NEET also, as well as this particular topic. I hope, children, this video is going to help you a lot in understanding the concept of locomotion in your NCERT topic for your boards and the NEET. Thank you all. Thank you. Please do subscribe my channel and try to share. And please do comment in the comment section how you like this video, how this has helped you all. Thank you all. Thank you.